Hey, what's going on, guys? Chase here with another video bass lesson. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 double stops you can use in your bass lines. Um, Double stops, if you don't know, it's just playing 2 notes at the same time on bass. And they're a really cool way to spice up your bass lines. Basically add in kind of like a chordal element to them, which is not something you hear a lot. And I really like using them in my playing. So I thought I'd show you probably 4 of the most used double stops that I play. And the first one we're going to go over is just a 10th. A 10th is basically just a third up an octave from whatever root note you want to start on. So for example, if we start on G, a third of G is B, and then I'm going to go up an octave and play these 2 notes, the root and the third at the same time. The fingering I like using a lot is just 1-3. You can see it right here, 1-3. And you can also do minor double stops. So instead of having the major third, you're just doing the minor third. And for that, you can bar the first and the third, and the 10th. So you don't have to do 1-3 like that, because it's really awkward in my opinion to finger it that way. So I would just finger it 1-3. So yeah, this is a pretty basic double stop. Probably the first one I learned to use in bass lines. So I can just give you a quick example. I'm gonna kind of do like a meters type bass line and hit that 10th all the way up here, up all the way on the fretboard. Hit that 10th up here and then go back down to continue playing the bass line. So yeah, that just adds a little bit of spice, just a little cool thing to add to that bass line. So the next double stop we're gonna do is the Pino Palladino double stop, which everyone calls it. He uses double stop a lot in his neo soul, work. So like working with like D'Angelo or like Chris Day and the drum heads. And basically this double stop is just you're barring. This is the way I like to use it. It's just you're barring. In this case, let's say we're in E minor. I'm barring E and A up here, and then I'm with one finger, with just my first finger, and then I'm moving my third finger up a whole step from E to F sharp. So basically the notes you're getting with that is, like, let's say you're in E minor, you're playing 1 and you have the 4th, and then you're hitting the 9. And then you kind of have like a 9-11 type thing going on. And you can also, you don't have to just end there. You can also come back to the original shape. And you can also move that shape around. But I find that I really like that kind of 9-1 thing. So an example of it in a bass line is kind of something like this. Yeah, so it's a really cool way to spice up your bass lines, and kind of you're hitting more interesting notes as well. You know, I could just sit on the, which is cool, but this is just adding another layer of depth to your bass lines, which I really enjoy. When I hear double stops a lot, you know, I don't want to say it surprises me, but it's a cool another thing that just makes me go, oh yeah, that's awesome. So the next double stop I'm gonna do is kind of almost like a melody going into a double stop, and this one is this. So I'm hitting, in this case, we're kind of like an A major. So I'm hitting A, B, C sharp, F sharp, E. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 6, 5. And I love this one. Just, I don't really know where I got it, but it really just is cool. You just get this little melody and then a short little melody and then a short little double stop that comes right after it. And that double stop is hitting like 6 to 5. So if you're in kind of like a majory type of thing, it's kind of almost like an Allman Brothers type thing. And if you use those intervals like that, so I'll show you like a little bass line. Cool. So then the last double stop is very crunchy because you're hitting just a half step apart, like, 2 notes which are a half step apart. So in this case, let's go like back to E minor. And with all these double stops, you can move them around wherever you want. I'm just showing you these keys, and then you guys can take them and figure out how to use them and, you know, different keys. And with this one, I'm going to show it with like an open string, and the way to I'll show you how to like move it around, I guess. So in this case, if we're in E minor, I'm hitting G up here and F sharp. And if I also hit the open E, what that gives me is 3, 9, 1. So it's pretty crunchy. You can hear kind of like almost like a vibration because the notes are so close together. They're vibrating super fast. And the cool thing about this double stop is you can like move either the top note or the lower note. So yeah, it's a cool, super crunchy one. You just hit. If I want to keep moving it down, I have to hit half steps apart, just down the neck, which kind of gets harder the lower you go because the notes are farther apart. But let's say I wanted to do this in F minor. I'm literally just, the thing I have to do is instead of hitting that open E, I have to bar my first finger to get the F and the A flat, and then hit the G up here with my 4th finger. So yeah, it's a kind of cool shape that you can move around. The only hard thing is when you're not doing it in E, it's a little bit hard to move up you can move up like that, you just can't really be hitting the root. Because then you have to move your first finger away. So it's a cool double stop that's crunchy. It gives a lot of tension. And then the thing I like doing is if you're an E is you can kind of hit G, F sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E. So that almost as like a type of fill type of thing. So cool, guys. That's all the double stops. To go over all of them again, it's the 10th, either major or minor. You get that just by going up a third, taking the third up an octave. And with all these double stops, you can just figure out how to move these shapes around the neck and find different variations. Maybe with the Pinot double stop, which is the second one we went over, finding different sort of variations of it so it doesn't give you just always the kind of 9/11 sound. But like for instance, this one is 4/5 with the 7 up top. And then also the third one we went over was the little melody going to the double stop. And then the last one we just did was the 2 notes a half step apart. So cool, guys. Let me know if you have any other ideas for lessons that you guys want to see, and I'll be sure to check out the comments. And then also, if you want to see me using some of these double stops and covers or anything like that, go over to my Instagram page, which can be linked down below. And then, yeah, that's it. So have a great day, guys. Hopefully you learn some stuff about double stops, and I'll see you guys next time.